Hey guys, I was lining up my rod today and noticed that the ceramic guide on the inside of my rod tip was completely missing. And so don't want to be running line through that, it might snap off, and I don't want to learn my lesson on losing some big bass for the year. And so I've done this a couple times over the years, so I figured I'd take you along for the ride and show you how it's done. Alright guys, so go over the tools and materials you're going to need. You're going to need a rod tip repair kit, and so I have these, but as you can see here, these are a little big, likely, for what I'm going to be using. So these are Ozark Charo ones, and I believe this is Fuji. I ripped the top off so I can't tell, but these are going to have smaller tubes, 5.5, 6, and 6.5. I think those are millimeters. And so I will put both of these down in the description below, depending on what you need. Then you're going to need either a pair of needle nose pliers, or if you have them, a pair of forceps. I use forceps because I actually have those in my first aid kit that I keep on my fishing kayak, and so if you have those, definitely use those. You're going to need a carpenter's knife, so one of those guys, and then a heat gun. Now they say that you can use a lighter. I don't like direct heat on my rod tips, and I'll share why in a little bit. So I like indirect heat, and so these things are really inexpensive, maybe 20 bucks or so. If you don't have one of these, I use them on all kinds of DIY mods for my fishing kayak, and so I'll put a link in the description below if you don't have a heat gun. So these are really nice to have. So this is a fairly simple fix, but there's some things you definitely want to avoid when repairing your rod tip here. Step one is heating up your rod tip. We'll turn this on in just a moment. But the idea here is that you're going to be heating up the glue that is holding your rod tip in place. And so what I like to do here is take my forceps, grab one of the feet of the rod tip, and turn on the heat, and just slowly kind of move that around until it pops off, and that'll leave a bunch of glue and a bunch of resin behind, which will bring us to step number 2. Let's go ahead and do this first. There we go. Alright, took that guy off. No problem. Alright, now what you'll have is a bunch of glue and resin on here, and do not take your heat gun to your blank. You don't want to compromise your blank by applying heat to it. And so go ahead and take your carpenter's knife, and you can just start peeling some of that stuff away. I think I like it. Alright, now that this is all clean, now what you want to do is dry fit one of your rod tips. So I can already tell if I put this over top of it, there is kind of way too much play in there, and so you don't want that much play. And this one's a 6.5 on the micro, and I can already tell it's going to fit nicely. So not a lot of play in there, but it's good. You don't want this to fit so tight because you need to be able to fit some glue in there, because that is what's going to adhere your rod tip to your rod blank. Alright, so this is the one we're going to use on the micro. I like it. These are higher quality in my opinion anyways. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and grab the rod tip by one of the feet, one of the forceps. Now you have that. We're going to heat up this glue over here. Now be careful, do not burn this glue. You don't want to burn it, just make it warm enough. We're going to apply a little bit on the tip, and then we're going to warm up the tube, not the ceramic or anything up top, just the bottom part right here, and then we're going to seat it. Now when you seat it, you're only going to have a little bit of time to be able to align it with the rest before it starts to cure, and so let's go ahead and do that. Man, they give you so much glue, you're never going to use all of this. You might need maybe 3% of all that they give you. So much. Alright. A little bit around the edge of there. I like it. Next. Alright guys, as you can see here, every time you do this, you're going to have a glob or kind of wave of glue right here whenever you seated your rod tip tube. And so just let that cool down. Just take your carpenter's knife and then kind of shave that away to your liking. I wouldn't recommend putting a lighter or a heat source to this. You don't want to compromise your blank at all. There we go. Well, since you're working on your rod and reel, if you haven't lubricated your spinning or bait casting reel in a while, well, I got you covered. Bait caster right there, spinning reel right there.